All right, guys, this is our first official podcast. We're going to call it the Pilot Cast for now, but we're going to go over the title here in a bit. So we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. Let's go ahead and start with Steven.
Oh, all right. My name is Steven. I don't know, what are we supposed to give ourselves a little description of ourselves? I like long walks on the beach, short walk to the fridge usually.
Just your dating profile.
Oh yeah, recently got a tattoo. It was fun. Ink my whole body. Just kidding. All right, somebody else want to just go for it? That's okay too.
Well, I'm a person. Hi, I'm James. I am the person.
They can't see you.
That usually can, do things, right? But first off, I'm going to say, God, I hope the Pilot Cast is not copyrighted because we will get in trouble on the first podcast.
True.
So true.
Just part of the crew, here to have fun and talk about whatever comes up.
Solid. What about you, Caleb?
Well, I guess I'm Caleb.
Guess you're Caleb?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
I mean, what if your parents actually called you something that isn't your name for your whole life, and then you're 20, and they're like, well, your real name is Jabaloo.
Okay, Jabaloo.
Jabaloo.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I think you already did.
That's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Caleb.
All right, that's Caleb. And Nevin, just like James said, part of the crew. And we're here to do a Kick Butt podcast today.
Part of the crew.
Part of the crew.
Part of the crew.
So I guess me and Steven are no longer part of the crew.
Cool.
We didn't establish that ourselves.
We didn't establish it.
But we are a part of the crew, so.
Yes,
they are
most
okay.
Definitely.
Okay, good enough.
I think first topic of discussion, we just got to knock this one out. The title of the podcast. Who has ideas? Let's just lay them all out.
The crew?
I literally have nothing.
Well, I mean,
didn't think about that at all.
There's the crew. I mean, there's people on the internet that are already titled the crew. You'd hate to.
Right.
Yeah, you'd hate to get. We had that awesome idea. CO 2016 Phantom Pirates. Why not the PhantomCast? That kind of gives you
I like that.
That's a great idea.
Eerie topics, something that's not going to always, come up. You never know what's going to happen.
I was thinking the exact same thing because we are the Phantom Pirates. Thinking of maybe
trademark.
We are trademarked.
It's official. Like a ship, they cast the sails. We could say even just the Phantom Pirate cast. Or something along those lines of using a ship as an analogy of
what about
the casting.
Okay. What about we merge it and just do the Phantom Crew?
But then we don't. Then we lose the.
Or just quiet.
I think either the Phantom Cast or the Phantom Pirate Cast. Either one.
Yeah.
Either one.
I feel like
have to
Phantom
have that
Pirate.
piece.
I feel like Phantom Pirate
kind of
Cast
draws
is
on too
a bit wordy. It's a bit wordy. I feel like.
So, the Phantom,
I'm all for Phantom Cast.
I'm down with that.
I'm down with the Phantom Cast as well.
So is that our name?
That is the official name.
It's the Phantom Cast, bro. Welcome to the
So I guess
Phantom
Steven's
Cast.
next tattoo is already established.
It's gonna happen. Probably might as well just get it across my chest,
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right
on your
there.
collarbone.
Get it right on my jugular, because
right across the neck here.
we're pumping out good topics, like we are. Sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
I got it in Old English.
Nice.
So if we had to reestablish, welcome to the Phantom Cast.
Yeah, boy.
Right on.
The pilot episode of the Phantom Cast.
Heck yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure it's not taken. When I search on YouTube to put this on YouTube, I was thinking of putting under the username just the Phantom Pirates, if that's okay with everybody. But then the show could be called the PhantomCast
under like
A1.
playlist.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
As long as
But we only have one playlist though. That's
so far. Let's not rule out.
I figured the more if we we stick with this, you end up getting topics that kind of movies. You get a movie playlist. You're doing topics about movies or either a real world event or past experiences. Just something you could, I feel like watching this topic tonight. All right, I'm gonna watch that playlist. That way, they're kind of getting the feel for whatever.
And not to rule out too, like we could make longboarding videos. And
faux show.
Yeah,
that is another thing. We are all longboarders. We are all longboarders.
True.
Some of us are not as good as others. Myself, I am known to wreck a lot. All in the name of doing something cool. So
pretty much.
Hey man,
when you go down the busiest street in your city, just because, hey, let's do it.
All in the name of ice cream.
All in the name of ice cream, man.
Yeah, we were just on a subtle trip to get some ice cream. Turned bad.
Turned bad. You never know when it's going to happen,
For sure.
It could happen any time. And it just so happened that ice cream was the goal.
I could have been going to a traffic safety
What
course,
would you do for a Klondike bar, James would just clearly go across a busy street on a longboard.
The standard is set.
It wasn't busy when we initially crossed, but about the halfway, point
well, it
was
never
like,
is when you're initially going.
Yeah,
to.
no, you're like, oh, there it is. Oh,
it seems to happen like that.
You imagine
like you're like, oh, it's clear, we're good, and then you get about halfway, and it's like, shit.
The traffic, like they're at the traffic light, right? The headquarters or whatever, where they keep track of lights and stuff, and this dude's just like, oh, there's people crossing, and he's like pressing the red light, turn screen. Send out Alpha Squad cars now.
Or like those cars that have the student driver on top. You know how every time they come up to a yellow light, they gun it and then slam on the brakes and then gun it. And it's so there's the dude just all right, here comes the student driver. Ready now.
Now.
Yeah, they probably just do that on purpose, just so
Jeffrey,
mess with their heads.
Push the button.
He totally stopped in the middle of the intersection.
Awful.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, watch this one from last week. This guy literally slid 20 feet.
Yeah, no. They're playing the fail of the month. It's just
they have a clip. They have a clip. It's the fail of the month. Yeah, that
over
would be
and
good.
over again. Oh, here it comes, and done.
And boom.
And
just watch how much the truck rocks back and forth after he hits it.
The shockwave of the initial spinal crack.
How do you get that job though? Those people that are actually in charge of that.
Is that a job?
I feel like it is.
I would suggest there's maybe there's a headquarters, and they obviously have to have somewhere where those traffic, someone say runs a red light, they have to have somewhere where that gets sent and analyzed, and for accident reports they always, well, let's go to Jim at North 14th Street. The dude that's never been on camera, he's he turns around at his computer, he's like,
so is it those little boxes that are on every light? Is there a little midget in there running it?
Oh,
a little guy just in there pressing the buttons. He's got little cameras set up, little TV.
Shift change.
Well, you know how the cops can control them from the little boxes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, so that some of them have to be computer done. They have a timing system or whatever. Yeah,
timing system. Yeah.
Well, but think about in big cities, the traffic cams where they do take a picture if you run a red light and they send you the bill. There has to be someone that picture gets sent to, and poor policeman is sitting in this tiny room with a bunch of papers, and he's like, man, these freaking people keep running red lights. Gotta make all these tickets. Paperwork is terrible.
You think that when they get to someone they know, they're slowly slips paper in a trash can?
Of course.
It's
I would.
Wait a second. That's my
go to all your friends and be like, Just go to all your friends and family and be like, hey, let me get your license plate number real quick.
Yeah.
Keep that on deck, you know?
Mhm.
Never know.
Or the people that set out after them. Like, I know you're watching me. They look at the camera and they're like, I know you're coming for me.
I
You
got
don't know.
a funny story on that. I don't think any of you guys were with me, but I was in Colorado. It was probably last summer, and me and Ryan decided to go to Southlands, like really late at night, so nothing was open. So I come off the off ramp on the highway. Obviously, coming off the off ramp, you're doing like 60, and it merged right onto the street. So I was, slowing down, probably doing 40, and the light turned red immediately. So I really had to slow down really quick. So I slowed down, and I passed the white line of the crosswalk by like 1.5 feet, 2 feet. And right as I did that, the cameras that were up there, I didn't know, they flashed, but it wasn't like a casual like I'm gonna take a picture. This is like 1 a.m, no lights. It was like a flashbang grenade.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't see for like 4 seconds, and I was actually really mad because I feel like, safety, people shouldn't be running red lights, but safety, people shouldn't be blinded by flashing lights.
I know they
Okay,
ran this red
They
light,
get
but
flashed and they're going
blind
to
them,
swerve
yeah.
off the road.
Exactly.
Think about the one dude that's like meaning to run the red light though, and like runs it, and he gets flashbang, and he's going into traffic. Like he just drilled somebody because he can't
Exactly.
see now.
Crash on purpose. Get like a
Exactly.
lawsuit out of it. Get some money or something.
People do that. People do it all the time.
Man,
The best part about that story,
causing accidents daily.
the best part about that story is that you have a Kansas tags, so you don't even have a license plate
Right.
on the front.
Right,
Yeah.
so they didn't get
they didn't do
anything.
anything.
Nope.
So it's totally pointless.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kansas, you don't have to have tags in the front, so you're good.
And I shouldn't have even gotten in trouble because, I was 1.5 feet past. It's not like I ran the light, but they
Right,
couldn't have got me
yeah.
anyways. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's how it is late at night. They know you're like, oh, I know no one's on the street, but there's a pair of headlights. Let's just let the light go red for about 20 minutes. We're never gonna, that's never
Right?
going to change.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So
Yeah.
like
Like
straight
that.
up just went like green to red, didn't even go yellow.
No, we were coming off, and I was coming off fast. It might have been like a quick yellow or something. Well, I remember
One
it,
of
it
those
just-
like yellows that's like yellow green or like yellow red.
Yeah. Yep. It just
Yeah.
jumped, and I was like, "Oop!" There it goes.
Or those green lights that last like half a second, like literally as soon as it turns green, you start going across. You get like halfway across the intersection, it's already turns yellow. You're like,
Yep.
what?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I going to Manhattan when you're coming off the interstate into Manhattan. There's a red light. Like you're going about 80 down the interstate, right? And then they
Yeah.
expect you to remember to stop at this red light, and it goes down to about 45. You're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute. Wait.
That's the one after you get off the interstate and get on that highway.
Yeah.
After you exit
Yeah.
to go to Manhattan, there. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
you're
like a
just
stoplight. Like
I
what?
ran or almost ran that one time. Like I slammed on my brake. I was like,
Whew.
whoa, okay. No red lights for about 4 hours, and then you're gonna give me one right and run me into the.
The funniest thing about Kansas laws are there's like really weird ones, but like I know on a motorcycle, since like some of the sensors won't pick you up, so you'll sit at a red light and it just like won't turn green. But the actual law, there's no set time that you have to wait. It's like in the law it says you have to wait a reasonable amount of time at a red light before you can go, as long as traffic's clear. So literally, like, that basically means if you sit at a red light for a reasonable amount of time and there's an opening and you're on a motorcycle, you can just go. Like, even if it will turn green, you can still go. And I actually saw this dude do it one time. He was going down, like, I think it was Wyatt Earp, like, going down Main Street, basically, and he pulls up to the red light and then, like, pulls up to the red light. There's nobody coming. He stops for, like, 2 seconds and then goes. And I'm like,
It's a
How is
reasonable
that-
amount of time.
yeah. And
It's
so,
reasonable.
like, well, I was on my bike, so I, like, pulled up next to him at the next stoplight because there's, like, 4 in a row. And I was like, is that legal? And he's like, well, I may or may not be a cop. And I deem that a necessary amount, or a correct amount of time. And I was like, man, cops always like bending the rules and stuff.
Yeah. Dang cop.
When me and Ryan, sorry, we were driving to Nebraska when we were younger, and Ryan's dad was taking us, and Nebraska back roads are just like Kansas back roads.
Oh yeah.
And so he was easily going 40 over. We got pulled over, and he's in civilian clothes. He's in his little Honda, and we got pulled over 2-3 times. And every time we got pulled over, all he would do was take out his badge and show the officer. And the officer would take out a different piece of paper and write his badge number or something, and then just be like, all right, slow down just a bit. And then we would just keep going. Like,
Wow.
Same cop, like 30 miles down the road. Did I just stop you? He's like, yeah, how'd you catch up to me?
I guess everyone's going fast.
Yeah, you were going the other direction, pal.
I'm really confused.
Took a wrong left turn.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well.
Does anybody have anything, that topic? I know we didn't have to prepare one, it's the initial cast,
wait. Before
Yeah,
we get to like topics.
But well, still, it's we have no clue what we're doing here, so give us a break. Give us a break.
Okay.
3 viewers that are going to get on this video, like 3 random people. The 3 random people on YouTube that find us, and they're like, "Oh, these guys are kind of funny." Cool.
Before we get into that, like, are we gonna stick to the every week kind of thing?
I feel like once a week would be cool.
I feel like once a week is a good initial, and if we like ever got a decent amount of people that would want something, you could go to maybe twice a week or get on some easier.
But I mean, honestly though, like just like having Skype conversations without doing podcasts, like I think that's really awesome. Like we don't have to, any time of the week at all.
Yeah.
Like we're all free or something.
For
like
sure.
I love doing this.
And if anything ever interesting happens, you just simply press record. Get up.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, hey, like all of a sudden you feel like we're getting into a conversation. Like, hey, bink.
Like last night.
For real, that one should have been recorded last night. That was a really good Marvel conversation.
I mean, I have 40 minutes. It's called the Marvel Test Cast.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did. That's right. Because you're like, hey, we should be recording this. Bink. Recording.
Pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So,
you got anything,
like,
Caleb?
yeah, dude. So I'm just going to talk about, like, my day, because my day's been crazy.
Oh,
well,
I want to hear about this.
Yeah,
I guess after I left work, my day began crazy, I guess.
I saw you after
like,
you got off work. Crockett pulled up next to me on his bike at an intersection.
I did. Well, technically, you pulled up next to me.
You told me to, so I was just, the guy behind us was very confused. He was glaring at me. I was like, bro, I'm sorry. I know him. Break.
I'm sorry.
But, like, okay, so, like, I get home, and I'm, like, super stoked to get my new helmet in. And so I'm, like, sitting around the house just waiting and waiting. Finally get the helmet, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go out and, like, go for a ride. So I go riding around. I go in the riverbed and, like, was kind of messing around. And I still had the teddy bear on the back. And so, like, people were giving me weird looks, but now they can't see my face because it's mirrored out. And so, like, they can't see my face at all. But I'm, like, riding around having fun. Well, like, I'm on a couple different motorcycle pages on Facebook, and one of them is, like, a bunch of crotch rocket guys. And so, like, I put a message on there and was like, hey, is anybody doing anything? Like, is anybody out riding? And this was, like, after, like, an hour. I'd already been out in the riverbed messing around for, like, an hour, and I had stopped, and I was, like, way out of town. And they were like, yeah, there's a couple of us, like, that are hanging out. We'll meet you at, like, one of the spots that we meet. And I was like, all right, cool. And so, like, I go and meet up with these guys, and they're, like, they're all chilling or whatever. They're getting gas, and I'm like, all right, well, that should be good. And so we start riding around. Well, there's one dude that's, like, learning how to do wheelies, and it's super sketch because on a sport bike, like, it's super hard to do wheelies. And so, like, he, like, and gets up and, like, is doing a wheelie, and then there's another guy that, like, he knows how to do them, so, like, he pops up, like, he would pop up, and these two guys are, like, going back and forth, but I'm just, like, sitting in the back, kind of, like, traffic control whenever we turn a corner or whatever, make sure nobody, like, cuts up, like, real close or anything. So I'm, like, just chilling in the back of the group. Well, we're going, and at that point it was just 4 of us. And like basically me and the guy next to me has a stretch bike, so like he can't do wheelies, obviously. Yeah, because he's got like the extension on the back wheel.
Yeah.
Well, he can do rolling burnouts really well, like where they're going and then they just and start spinning the back tire. And so we're going, and like I can do like slow speed, like pop up the front tire stuff, but like I wasn't doing anything because we were just riding around on the roads and stuff. Well, like all of a sudden his back tire starts spinning, and he was like kind of in the back with me, and so I was like, oh, he's gonna do like a rolling burnout. So I start to like kind of move over to the side to let him like do it or whatever. And well, he wasn't doing a rolling burnout; he was crashing because basically, yeah, dude, his front brake is like it like locked up on him. And so basically his front brake like started pressing the brake pad, and so his tire started spinning because like he was still giving it gas, and then like he like swishes to one side, swishes to the other side. He almost corrects it, but his back tire is still spinning the whole time, and dude goes down hard. I mean like his helmet, like there's like a big old like probably a good softball size place where it just like he originally hit that just like shaved off.
Well, at least he's
like,
wearing a helmet too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That could
That's why you wear helmets, everybody.
Yeah, dude. He had, and this guy usually doesn't, and that's what he was saying. Like afterwards, he was like, "Dude, I'm so glad that I was wearing my helmet because normally he doesn't." And we always tell him, we're like, "Dude, you're stupid, man. You got to wear a helmet." But he had that on, and he has a jacket that has like the armor in it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so he went down or whatever, and it ripped his armor a little bit, but it wasn't bad. But like it could have been a lot worse because he hit his head hard, and like he slid for probably like 30 feet down the road. I mean, just, and I'm just sitting back here like, oh no. And so like I pulled into the turning lane like area and like stopped my bike and jumped off, and I went after the bike because he had slid so far past me that like he was up with the other 2 guys that were in front of us, like because they saw him in his mirror. They saw his like, because like he said he started to like. He was starting to go over, so he started to like stand up so that he could get more room, like more leverage to swing the back tire over. But whenever he stood up, the bike hit and like threw him off. And so like he had slid all the way up next to them because they saw him crash, so like they were stopping, so they were checking him out. And I run over the bike, and the bike's leaking gas like everywhere. And I'm like guys, but it had an automatic kill switch, so like it was off. And I was like, guys, the bike. And so they come over, and like they were like, oh, we'll take care of it. And since like I'm not like, I don't know that much about like his type, like that bike, so I was like, you guys got it. And at that point he had gotten up and he was all right, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, I'll go like tell traffic to get in the other lane so like they don't hit us or anything. So I went back and was like telling people to go over, and everybody's like, is he okay? So like that happens. Well, then after that, like he was all worried that like somebody was going to call the police or whatever and say that he was like messing around or something, but he wasn't. Like he was just like driving down the road, and like his front brake locked up. And so like we got his bike up, and basically he was just like the top part of his gas can, they aren't sealed because they're not supposed to be like laid over like that. So like basically it was just leaking out the top, like where you put gas in. So it was no big deal, but like he was like pretty much out of gas. So we go to put gas in it. Well, he's shaking up a little bit, and so like we're like, well, do we need to go to somebody's house and like you sit down and like he's like, nah, man, like I feel okay. I'm just like my arm's sore and my back's sore. And we're like, all right. Well, at that point, one of the other guys got a text and was like, hey, there's a bunch of people that want to go meet up. So then we went and met up with like 8 more other people, and so like we're all telling them about the crash and stuff. Well, so like we meet up with them, and then we're going around, and I mean like, you know how like the little rice burner like cars like just like imagine like 7 sports bikes. Oh my gosh. And I was in the very back because I was like, I'm not even gonna try to mess around with these guys because they'll just freaking whoop me. And so they're all like freaking just idling, just cruising down the road. It's just like behind them. Well, so we're going. Well, we pull up to like a stoplight or whatever, and we had went down the highway a little ways, and then we pull up to the stoplight, and they're all revving and stuff in a Mustang 5.0 Mustang, like 2015 or 16 model, pulls up next to him. And so, of course, they're all like, okay, now we're really good rev, because he started revving. Yeah, and he had custom exhaust on the Mustang, and so he starts revving. So all the lead, like, the guys are like, okay, we're gonna start revving, and it's like we've got like a Honda 1000 RR leader bike, 1000cc. He's the guy that's leading, and then there's like 2 or 3 other 600 RRs, and it's just like, freaking, this Mustang is gonna get whooped, right? Okay, well, they all take off, and I'm in the back, and I'm not gunning it or
little
anything.
Enduro, like,
yeah,
Here we go.
I'm on my little like 1978 Enduro, so I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So like I kind of went for it a little bit, but like I went 30 and then kind of just went back to a cruise, because we were turning like not even like 100 foot down the road. We turned off. Well, we all turned off, and a highway patrolman turns off right after I do, and I'm in the back, and all the guys are already like parking their bikes, and they all look at me, and I'm like, what's wrong? And I turn around, and there's just this highway patrolman like pulling up behind us, and he stops, and he's like, you guys don't need to be doing that like stuff. Like, I know you guys are out here trying to have fun on your bikes, but like, don't be accelerating that fast down this busy of a road, is basically what he told him. And so, like, we're all like, okay. And some of the guys have the underglow, the neon lights on their bikes. Well, I guess the other group, before, like, we met up with them, they'd already been told to turn all their neon off because it was illegal. And so, like, this dude's, like, trying to, like, puff his chest. Like, this highway patrolman's trying to puff his chest and, like, tell us, like, not to be, like, messing around and stuff. And one of the guys with the neon is like, sir, can I ask you a question? And the guy's like, what? Yeah, I guess. And he's like, can we have this neon on? Like, and so, like, they start talking to him about, like, correcting the other officer. And, like, yeah, because
wow.
I guess it was a sheriff that pulled them, like, that told him to turn all the neon off and had pulled him over earlier. So, like, the highway patrolman's like, well, I'm not really sure, like, exactly what the rule is. And he's like, well, but if I find it, like, I'll let you guys know. And so, like, he gave the one guy his number. And then, like, that guy leaves. And so, like, we're all standing there just talking and having a good time. Well, like, you know how Truck Club, the guys with all the, like, pimped up trucks, where they sit?
Truck Club.
Yeah, dude.
I could join the Truck Club.
Truck Club sits, like, they sit out by Subway over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, where
so, like,
kind of a lot of people go.
Yeah. But, like, Truck Club always sits there. Well, all the bikes, we all park next to the that little ice machine place. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that dude comes up and he pulls out and leaves, and then a sheriff pulls up, and so the guy I was with was like, dang it, like, they're coming, like, somebody called in that accident, like, I'm gonna get in trouble, blah, blah. And the sheriff is the guy that talked to the guys about their neon before, because now they all have it. Yeah, because now all of them turned it back on, and they're like, well, oh well. And so, like, the sheriff comes up and he's like, hey, sorry about that, and, like, he, like, tells them, like, sorry, but, like, I wanted you to turn it off just to be safe, because I wasn't sure if it was illegal or not. Mm-hmm. And so then, like, they're talking to him, and, like, me and the guys I was with, we weren't talking to the sheriff that time. And then the sheriff leaves, and then, like, I start walking back to my bike to leave, and the highway patrolman comes back in and is like, hey, he was like, hey, I found the exact statute of, like, what the rule is on it or whatever. And so, like, he, like, prints it out for them, because you know how they have, like, printers in their car. Like,
yeah,
he, like,
full office in their car, basically.
Yeah,
safety first, right?
I feel like they're bored
driving. Yeah, he, like, prints it out and, like, gives them a copy of it. And so now all the guys were like, dude, you should take a picture of it and put it on the thing, and so everybody can print out a copy and just have it with our license and registration if we get pulled over for it. And be like, well, technically, according to statute. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah,
the cops were cool about it too.
Yeah, they were totally cool. Yeah, like they were not, like, being mean about it. They weren't wrong about it either. Like, whenever they took off, like, they were booking it, and they were booking it, and it was super busy and stuff like that. Like all of them were like, yeah, like we understand, we shouldn't have been going that fast.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was hilarious though, because one of the guys was like, I bet Truck Club thinks that like we're all going to jail tonight because we've had like 3 different cops come and talk to us.
Truck Club's like, yeah, they don't know about our stashes of cocaine underneath the beds of our trucks. Bike Club.
Well, shoot, I'll go buy a single cab pickup, lower it, and put HIDs on it. Then I can be a part of Truck Club.
Oh, dude, don't forget the 32-inch rims.
True, got to put some big rims on it. There are a certain few that actually do have like really fast trucks, though. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah. There's one guy that.
There's the ones that you know are fast, and then there's the ones that cosmetically look good, but you know it's still a stock engine and stock everything underneath.
The ones that actually have actual meat on the tires, like that one murdered out one with the actual meat on tires, his is extremely fast.
Yeah, dude. There was one of them, I was on the bike and I pulled over there and he had his truck like lifted a little bit and he had a little bit bigger like knobs on it. And I was like, what kind of engine you got? And he was like, oh, I've got the blah. And I was like, that's a stock
I know
engine.
That one too.
That's a stock engine.
It's funny because most of them have just 5.7s and some of them are 5.7 Hemis. But it's funny because the 5.7 is what I have in mind. So it's
it's funny.
Well, there's one dude that has
I wish I had a 5.7, man.
You're in the little 6?
A little 3.8, man. 3.8. Got that V6 life. It's alright.
But yeah, dude, the
best looking V6 in Dodge.
It is.
Pretty much.
Hey, man, my truck goes 0 to 60 in about 2 minutes, so it's good.
Dude, my
bike's like max speed is 65, so I'm pretty sure it'd take me like 5 minutes to get there.
And all those guys that you roll with, their max speed's like 150.
Oh no, dude!
Or more. Probably
well,
more.
The R6.
You ever hear them like? Because I'll hear them like from across town when they hit the highway and they go around that curve.
That's what we did
by my dad's shop, bro. Yeah. When they all just floor it, oh my goodness.
That's what we did, and I was like. I'm like sitting here and all these guys legit yeah, I was like I had it in 6th gear pinned and I was like, okay, forget you, like I will catch up to you guys whenever you stop. and I was like, but it's crazy though, like one of them, okay, so like he was behind me whenever we first started going down the highway and he freaking flies by me. Every time they shift, a little like ball of flame shoots out their exhaust because that's how much they're like pushing it. But it's just like, it was so loud though whenever they took off because it was like, whenever they're idle, it was just like, and then they start going, it was like,
exactly, yeah.
Sounds like a cockatoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cockatoos.
Hey, I thought of a interesting topic that relates to us all.
Alright.
Lay it on us.
So I was thinking about so I didn't grow up in Kansas, right?
For sure.
Grew up in Colorado.
Yeah.
For the 3 viewers who are listening,
3 viewers. The remainder
shout out
every,
to you 3
every
viewers.
podcast we're gonna refer to those 3 viewers, bro. And they're like watch the comment section argue over who those 3 viewers are. Like I was here since day 1, bro.
There's 2 people that argue over who the 3 were.
Yo, right. Grandma, get out of here. Count.
So yeah, Dodge City, Kansas. That's where the Phantom Pirates are. I was thinking if you guys kind of want to elaborate on if growing up in Southwest Kansas in Dodge City, how you think that affected you in your life and who you are now, as opposed to growing up in, say, a city, and if not maybe a city, someplace like I grew up, where Parker was only 40 minutes from Denver, where Dodge City is literally 3 hours from Wichita, which is not even close to Denver. If you want to kind of elaborate on how maybe that changed your view on life and the differences in high school and things like that, and I can kind of counter with that too.
Well, first off, please, no one come to Dodge City and hunt us down.
Please, no. We're all very nice people.
We're very nice. can't match the faces with the voices, bro. Actually, they probably could. They'd probably be like walk into Walmart, and be like, you're a face.
It's like the FBI uses voice recognition to match us.
I don't know. I think like growing up like in Southwest Kansas, like in small, like because this is a small town. Dodge City is a small town.
Well,
like this town. Compared to
Southwest Kansas is a big town, but
yeah, Southwest Kansas is just a big area of a bunch of different towns, little towns, and a couple big ones. But like, I don't know. Considering like being around, like when I was in New Jersey. With you, Nevin, like with all the other people, with all those people,
everything
compared to here, like it's like, I don't know, I feel like everybody's so much nicer. I don't know, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
and you know, everybody. I don't know. It's just the little things like you notice people wave at people when they're driving by just because.
Oh, totally.
I do it all the time. You know, you do it somewhere else, and people are like, "What? What's wrong with you?" Like I don't know you. But
they think you're like a drug dealer or something because you waved at him.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. You really like, at least for me, like, and not everybody here in Southwest Kansas is raised like this. But I mean, a lot of us are. I'm pretty sure all of us are. You know, we're raised to work hard. Growing up, working hard.
Basically.
You gotta earn what you get. You know, you work hard for what you get, and
for sure.
I mean, you're not.
I'd almost say that's
out here.
You don't take.
I'd almost say that's like a Kansas thing, though.
Yeah, it really is a
too much
Kansas
for granted. I mean, no one's like. You could say you're. Everyone says they're middle class, but you know, obviously, But it always seems like no one's really complaining. It seems like a lot of people in smaller towns are happy with what they're doing. You know, otherwise they wouldn't.
Very content. Town. Yeah.
And that's just how I've always grown up. Always been kind of happy. I mean, I love to explore. I love to go to big cities, but it's always
definitely.
You can only stay in a big city for so long if you come from a small town.
Yeah,
unless you have like a true desire to be.
I could never live in a big city. Yeah, I don't think I could do it.
like this summer this past summer when I was in Arizona. I mean, I loved it. Like going to Tucson was amazing. Like big town, people everywhere. But it's so cool because the area around Tucson is most of the houses and residential areas are just out in the desert and they're spread out. Like it's the communities outside the town, and so it's not really a big. You kind of get both. You get the big city feel, you get the small town feel, but you kind of get your own plot of land. And so it's kind of reminded me of Dodge. Is you're not around a whole bunch of people because I mean no one wants to be out in 105-degree weather anyway. But
true.
Well, I feel like like suburbs. Like I could live in a suburb, but like the people that live in cities, like I just don't know.
That's a different lifestyle.
They charge you gosh darn too much to live in the city, so it's easier.
Well, that's why because the people that live in the city have so much money. Because the apartments that are in the city are extremely expensive.
Oh yeah.
Half of them don't even have cars, and if they do, they're like extremely nice cars.
Yeah,
well,
that's
just a completely different lifestyle, you know.
That's the other thing that's kind of cool about like living in a place that's not a big metropolis, I guess, because like you talk to kids from like big cities like Chicago and places like that, and it's like you drove when you were how old? Like you had a car when you were how old? It's like because like they don't really need a car because everything is within walking distance.
Or subway
taxi
or
ride
or transit or something.
Take a bus or take the subway or something.
Well, it's like even whenever I lived in Rose Hill, like Rose Hill is what like 10 minutes away from Wichita, but like Rose Hill felt like a whole separate town. Like it's really a suburb of
kind of is a separate
Wichita.
Town.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but like you knew if you needed anything that was like specialty items, you could run to Wichita. But at the same time, like we didn't have like I think there was whenever we lived there was only like one or two, even like there was Sonic and I think there was a McDonald's, and that was pretty much like the only fast food restaurants we had. But like it's just like I think I could live in a suburb, but like deep city living, I don't think I could ever. I would never want to, I guess is the way to put that.
So I think for me, coming from something like Parker and having everything, and then going to you guys in Dodge, I think just like Steven was saying, definitely the people so much friendlier. Just that made me feel so much more at home right away. And even out here in Jersey, I do the hand wave to people in the neighborhood.
Yeah, you just do a couple finger wave. Steering wheel,
I recognize their car already, and literally I haven't gotten a wave back since, and that's kind of disheartening.
Yeah, it really just like makes you a little sad on the inside, you know.
It's like there's no camaraderie, and we live right next to each other. I think the second thing is in Parker and stuff, there was always stuff to do. And in Dodge, what I love doing with you guys is like there's not a lot of stuff to do, so we had to make our own stuff to do.
Make your own fun.
And it was creative,
legal and or illegal, but you know,
exactly.
We don't like to go that far into the details. We'll stop right there.
I mean, it's gonna happen at some point. You're gonna cross the line, but.
No, but people ask you like, what do you do for fun in Dodge City, Kansas? Like literally, like almost every time I tell them, you kind of just gotta make your own fun. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's like the other thing though is like friendliness, yes. Plus, like, I don't want it to sound bad, but like I feel like if you lived in a big city, the rules are so much more strict. Yeah. Like you get me, like, like I don't think.
But anything with more population is going to be more stipulated and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Like I don't think if we were in New York like 2 hours ago and there was like eight crotch rockets just hauling butt down like a main street in New York, and a cop would have pulled you over instead of just being like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. Like, I don't know.
I would say
it's always fun. Go ahead, James.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I would say the other great thing about being raised in a small town is you learn to enjoy going to a big town. You don't.
That's so true.
I feel like growing up in a big town, you get used to those fun events and stuff. But growing up in a small town, you look forward to getting to go to a concert in a big city or going to
it's really a special event
or something.
Like just being able to go to a big city.
Even here I am, out of high school, I still get excited going to a big city because I get to explore parts I've never been before. And as you grow older, you start to learn more and more about the big city. And you start to being able to explore a little more, but you still enjoy getting to go back home, even though you don't wish to. You still enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
You don't like to admit it.
But yeah, I think Nevin made a great point though. Like you make your own fun in Dodge City, Kansas.
For sure. Oh, yeah. And it's not like getting a hula hoop and hitting it with a stick down the road.
Sometimes. It's not that bad. It's kind of fun. No.
Well, it's like me and Jordan.
Until you try it, James.
Me and Jordan, whenever we were little, which Jordan is the other member of this. I forgot the name.
Phantom Pirates.
Phantom Crew. Phantom Crew.
The PhantomCast.
Get
it right.
Sorry. But Jordan, who you will meet later at an unset time. Hopefully
in the next podcast, which we will probably say you'll meet him in the next podcast.
He's the sketch master.
But like Jordan and me used to whenever we were little, there was nothing to do. So what did? We went out in the back shed, found a bunch of scrap wood, and made a quote unquote ramp for our bikes. It's like in the city, I feel like you just go to a skate park or something like that. Like you wouldn't have to make your own fun.
Oh yeah, they got plenty of stuff to do. They always got stuff to do. What the heck?
Yeah.
What the
heck?
Or going and buying random objects, projectiles that you can shoot at each other.
I remember
fireworks.
Fireworks.
Paintball guns.
Guns in general. Airsoft wars.
Airsoft wars were a part of my childhood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
a huge part.
You mowed all summer to save up for that one gun that you wanted.
Dude. exactly what I. Oh man,
Mowing in general.
Mowing was the way to make money when you were too young to get a job.
Exactly.
Hey man, I still mow to this day. Thank you.
Not a problem.
It's untaxed.
I know.
It's untaxed,
like,
bro.
my buddy, like Tyler O'Neill, his cousin mows.
Oh,
he works for
yeah.
Black Hills Energy now, but all he did for like a long time was mow. Dude had 2 Corvettes and a Challenger, as well as his work pickup. Like, mowing pays, you know.
Well, that's like Lomas. That's all Lomas does is mow yards, and he went out and just bought.
He got that. He got that nice bike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a Kawasaki? No.
Yeah, it's a Kawasaki 600.
Nice.
For sure.
He was with us earlier.
Yeah. I didn't even know that dude is still in Dodge, honestly.
Yeah, I believe.
I did, but he works on a farm now, and he like comes into the store and gets parts every once in a while.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Southwest Kansas living and big city living.
Mm-hmm.
So
Two
different.
completely different worlds. You know?
Oh yeah.
Same
country.
Obviously, technology has made it this far. If we're here doing a podcast, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Right.
Amen for technology.
Dodge City has technology.
We also have Boot Hill.
Actually,
that's all everybody ever knows about Dodge City. Boot Hill.
Don't hate
the Boot Hill people, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Or Gunsmoke.
Yeah.
Wider.
Get the hell out of Dodge.
Get the hell. The majority of the people that I've met from big cities are like, "Oh, we watched a movie one time and they said get the heck out of
Wizard
Dodge."
of
We
Oz.
had no idea where it was.
Yeah.
Or you're not in Kansas anymore. Who are you, Toto? Like,
Toto.
Really?
Yeah.
Never heard that
all
one.
the time.
Not to boast or anything, but because United Wireless is so awesome. They have some of the best technology out there, and because there's not a lot of people in Southwest Kansas, they have faster systems than, say, Verizon and Sprint, and those faster systems are managed by less people and have less people on them. So, in fact, our internet out there is faster than a lot of cities because you get more bandwidth per person.
Yeah.
I think you should have to put a disclosure.
You make a good point, Nevin.
All the products we've dropped in this podcast, we need to put a disclosure. We are not sponsored and or have any ties to these products.
We really need to rethink the legal parts of this whole podcast thing, don't we?
Nah.
Our 3 fans are not going to switch on us.
Get 9 copyright strikes on our very first.
Oh god.
And then we're done. We're done.
Like
no more
PhantomCast. You hit the upload button and like the FBI just knocks on your door instantly.
Immediately.
That's not allowed.
I'm sure that as long as you're not, people can go. Like, you go to a small YouTuber and they're using, say, a Blue Yeti microphone. They can say this. I am not sponsored by them, but this is the product I use. You should go check them out. And usually as they get bigger, the more people. You're not going to care if you're saying a product. It's a product. As long as you're not saying this is my idea. If you're using someone else's content or you're using someone else's product and saying it's your own, that's when people start getting copyright strikes. And the biggest issue is when people start, and there's a huge issue on YouTube about that too, about copyright infringement.
Mm-hmm.
Someone
so true.
Dude, there's been like big name channels getting completely wiped off the face of YouTube just because of copyright strikes, and it's a terrible system. It's something that
Dude, I remember
anybody too.
I remember like whenever I was little, there used to be like nothing copyrighted. Like you could say whatever you wanted to, pretty much. Mm-hmm. I mean, like it's so far as I think it was a little while ago, but like copyrights have got so far like bad that but like copyrights have got so bad that they like you can copyright a sound. Like that's just crazy.
I was thinking about putting the Sunny Philadelphia intro music at the start of it for like 5 seconds. And then, like James, you're saying, I thought about that, but that could be a strike, and maybe not now because, we have 3 fans. tomorrow, hopefully.
Shout out to the three.
Tomorrow.
The three bros.
Fingers crossed.
Like, it could happen. So, I don't want to mess with that. So we'll figure something out for that. But yeah, copyright is
it's
a
real.
huge
It's
thing.
real easy. It's real easy because, say, you go to a YouTube channel, you could find hours upon hours of non-copyrighted music. Like, there's so much, and I've listened to it too. Monster Cat, all those dudes, they usually will allow you to use those songs as an intro or something, and it's non-copyrighted. Like, there's no words, there's nothing really that is a huge record label, and if it is, it's specifically made for people to use for videos and such. And even then, you could even email them and ask, like, hey, can I use this song? If you get permission, there's no problem there.
Right.
But the legality of YouTube is so messed up at this point that it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's a bunch of gray area for the most part.
I think there's like a specific timer that you could you can go by, because I know some people use like actual music in their videos, but they can only go, like, if you go past 15 seconds, copyright strike or something.
Yeah. I'll look that up. I'll see if I can figure out that.
Basically, and if people are wondering, to the three viewers, this is kind of the initial, like, this is something we're just trying to get things settled out here. Like, next episode we'll come in with more of a direct approach toward a topic. If
structure.
And if you are one of the three viewers and you do leave something down in the comments, then it could get to that point to where people start suggesting topics, and then we ended up having to do research for those topics. And anything for a crowd, right? You get a good follower, you start doing things that are.
One day we might have 4 people that watch.
Yeah, 4
us.
people. Share that with your.
Let's talk about the bridge when we get there.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, 3 or 4.
We'll talk about that bridge when we get there. No.
How crazy would it be though? Like, you've seen, like, we've all seen those people that like upload one video and it gets like 2 million views instantly.
5,000 hits in 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's not us. That's
not us.
We're 4 dudes sitting at home.
Not trying to shoot our hopes down at all, but yeah. Unless people find us like extremely funny, or like, bro, y'all ever heard of the PhantomCast?
Bro,
someone like asks,
so funny.
Someone at school like walks up and is like, "Hey, have you heard these guys?" And I'm like,
no. And like with anything, you have to start somewhere. You look at someone's first video compared to their current video. It's all about learning the system, and once people start learning, and I can say that and not be like, people be like, oh bro, if you can say it, why don't you know it? Well, it's like, well, you've never done something like this. Like, I know of it because I've seen people go through it, but going through it yourself, it's a completely different aspect to what it is.
Yeah. You can't ride a motorcycle just because you've seen someone ride a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
No. Just kidding. No. I don't know. Danny Tanner might have something to say about that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Where are we at with time, Gibbs?
One thing I didn't think of, I should probably look it up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure there are no other Phantom Pirates out there, but I really hope the Phantom Pirates is not taken. Because we can't be like XX underscore the Phantom.
Your 13-year-old
gamer tags.
Yeah, 13 tags.
Oh yeah.
Where are we at with time, yo? I feel like we've been talking forever.
45 minutes.
Nope, we are at 53:45.
So,
yeah, that's another thing. We're going to try to keep each episode at least to an hour.
Yeah, about an hour, and definitely, I think it's better to make more episodes than make long episodes.
Yeah. But even then, it'd be hard to, if you want to listen to us for an hour, you can, but still.
If you want to, by all means.
It's all about
by all means. Drop it down in the comment section if you like us,
And as always, hit that like button and subscribe.
Right.
that like button and subscribe.
You three viewers are beautiful no matter what anyone says.
Exactly.
We all love you very much.
Very much.
And
So,
you people are the real reason we are doing this.
yeah.
Well, are we closing off the pilot episode of the PhantomCast then?
I think it went really well, and
I do believe so.
To end on.
I believe you could. I believe in the title you should put longboard to cops to small town living.
Yeah, I was gonna put like pilot cat or Phantom Cast episode 1 pilot, and then in parentheses I was gonna put motorcycle crash growing up in Kansas, and then just leave it at that.
Yeah, man, that sounds pretty good.
Kind of the main topics, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
kind of the main things hit.
So in closing, next time we will
We
hopefully
will try to be more structured.
Yeah, we will.
hopefully.
So next time we will be more structured. We will tell you again that Jordan will be on the next time.
The next time.
More than likely,
I'll tell
it's
you
gonna
that Jordan
happen
will
like
be
that.
here the
Yeah,
next time.
at some
And,
point he will come, maybe.
We will work out the kinks, basically.
Yep.
All right.
Get better as it goes.
This has been the PhantomCast.
Yeah,
We'll
heck,
catch you on
Signing
the flip
off.
side.
catch you later.
Signing off.